Demon Jester J here with 5+ questions to a mile maker. And my guest today is...
The Old Git. Hey.
I finally got you on my show.
Yes.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing very well, mate. Thanks very much.
Thank you for being on my show. Are you ready to be on? Are you ready for the 8 questions?
Hit me with them.
Alright, let's start with the first one. First question is, who are you? And please tell us about yourself and your hobby. And also, do you have more than one hobby?
Right. As you know, I'm the Old Git on YouTube. My real name's Mick. I mean, people that I got to know on YouTube call me Mick. Basically, I'm a painter more than a gamer. I've never actually played a game in my life, but I'm very interested in watching battle reports and stuff like that. And yeah, that interests me. I do intend to start playing games, but painting is my main thing. I've been painting for years and years and years. I'm also a writer. I do freelance article writing. If anybody wants any articles doing for the internet, I'm your buddy. And yeah, besides that, dog Sweep. Everybody knows my dog Sweep on YouTube. He always barks in the middle of my bleeding videos. It's going to be a dead dog soon. Yeah, and even though I'm not a gamer, I do take an interest in all aspects of wargaming. I just love painting. I could paint all day long, but obviously the wife wouldn't agree with that. But
Alright.
way of everything.
Alright. Ready for the second question?
Hit me with it.
Alright. Second question. What got you into your hobby and how long have you been into it?
Oh, you don't want to know how long I've been in this hobby. I've been in this hobby 43 years. I was 12 years old when I started off.
Wow.
And at that time, yeah, we're going back 43 years. At that time, there was no internet, there was no games consoles and stuff like that. So you had a choice. You either played football all the time or you made models. My bedroom was absolutely smothered in Airfix kits. You couldn't even walk through my bedroom door. There was hanging off the ceiling, all over the cupboards and everywhere. Addicted to making Airfix kits. Revel kits came in later because they weren't UK based, but any kit I could hold up, I was into it. 12 years old. You didn't look at a kit and think, I've got to get that little mould line off. That's bugging me. You just thought, give me the glue, slap it together.
Yeah, but we also back then they didn't have a acrylic paint either. They had enamel, so if you didn't have a window open,
right. Yeah.
if you didn't have if you had a window closed and you were using that glue and the enamel, oh, talk about the stank that you had in that room and the little lightheadedness that you got.
Hey, that's another reason I got into the hobby. Yeah, I can remember Airfix had these little glass jars, and God knows what thickness of the glass was, but they were solid. The amount of paint that was actually inside the glass was unreal. Yeah, I remember those were good days. Loved it.
Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Digital things happen.
It's life.
Yes. Ready for number 3?
I'm ready for number 3.
When and why did you start making YouTube videos, and have you met anyone from YouTube because of it?
Well, I went through a big gap in my life when I never actually touched a model. Obviously I had kids when I got married, making models with them, which, you know, I was pleased they got into it as well. They grew up, I went into a large gap, and my grandson was absolutely Warhammer crazy. He could tell you anything about Warhammer, and he said to me one day, oh, this bloke at our Saturday club is painting my army for me. says, "What are you paying this bloke?" He goes, "Yeah." I says, "Bring him around. Let me have a look, see what I can do." But I've been out of circuit. I didn't know about the new paints or anything, so I thought I'd go on YouTube to see, have a look around. And I think it was Warboss that I first clicked on. His painting tutorials.
Yeah, Warboss Days.
I got addicted to his vids. His
vids
are amazing. I mean, even if you're not watching his painting, just listening to him talking, he's just
a good showman.
Totally absorbed in the hobby. I think there's Warboss and then Girl Painting I went on to as well. And I thought, well, yeah, I like this. And I've clicked around a few more channels. Thought, well, maybe people might want to see what I do. Anyway, after I painted a complete wood elf army in green, they want to touch green again. Oh, that's a joke, I do. I put the video up, people seem to like it, and it's grown from there, really. I've made a lot of friends, and touch wood, I've had no bad comments yet. Or is it the dislike button yet? So it's kind of grown from me just putting a few pictures up together on a video, and that's it, really. I do think YouTube is very beneficial. If you're on the right channels, you subscribe to the right people, then yeah. Don't get me wrong, there's the odd person, as with everything on the internet, that's keep away, trolls. But so it's just been a natural progression. I didn't think anybody would even look at my videos, but made a lot of friends.
You made it for yourself.
Sorry?
Like a friend of mine said, that makes YouTube videos. He doesn't care if one or two people watch the videos. He just makes them for himself.
Well, that's right. What you're going to put on your channel is what you like. Yeah, I've just done a competition where I've asked people's opinions of what they wanted to see. And I've put that in, and I'm going to start doing. Cause actually, that's the historical stuff and that to be put on my channel, and I'm well interested in that as well. So I'm going to start doing more of that on my channel, especially with the bolt action, which I'm really interested in, which I'm actually going to learn to play. I'm going to play my first game ever in a few weeks, once I've learnt the rules, of course, and currently making an army up. But
sounds like fun.
We'll see how we get on first. I can't see me winning the game, but hey, it will be fun.
Yeah.
And that's the point of it all. It's all fun. When people start taking things too serious, then it's not a hobby anymore. At the end of the day, Wargame is what it says. It's gaming. Game is to be enjoyed.
Yes.
It's not life or death. So win or lose, as long as you've had a good game and you enjoy yourself. But I've never actually met anybody off YouTube yet. In a few weeks, I am travelling away, and I'm expected to meet up with a couple of them. So I don't really go to conventions and stuff like that, and I do want to start doing that. I missed out on the grumpy old Wargames this year.
I think you'd fit in with them in a heartbeat. You'd be on a panel.
I know, but I had work commitments.
I know you have work commitments, but you have been on that panel in a heartbeat. Especially your history, they've been like, oh, what?
I know, it's frightening to think that I've been painting longer than some of these people have actually been born.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's amazing. But I mean, don't get me wrong, they're brilliant. I mean, I'm not an expert painter by any means.
But you learn the techniques by yourself with no help of the internet. You learn by looking at books, going to the public library. My daughter asked me, she's 9, just recently asked me, what's a library?
Oh, you're joking.
I
used to live in libraries.
No, what she said, she was joking with me, because she heard it on TV. She goes, she knows what a school library is, but she didn't know knew there were school libraries, like in the schools and that, but she didn't know there was a public library like you can go to. I said, you know where I took you where I had all the books and that when I lived in such a place? She's like, that was a library? I'm like, yes. She goes, that was fun. I'm like, yeah. And the
I mean,
sad thing is with the internet, a lot of people don't realize the libraries are on here almost like zombie buildings.
I think what did help me a lot was I took art A level at school. I don't know what the equivalent is in the US for an A level, but you certainly learn about colour mixing and the primaries and the secondaries and on in the circles.
Yeah, I had to take a couple art classes when I was in college. When I was in college, and I loved that. It was great stuff, especially when I was painting. That was when I was really painting the most while I was in college.
Well, to be honest, I was doing a lot more sculpting on the potter's wheel than painting, but painting obviously was part of it. So, but you had to learn about your colours and your mixing and your light aspects and highlighting, shadowing, everything. You have to present specimens to pass your exam.
Yep, that happens.
Many years ago. That's when exams were exams. So yeah, and that's really why I started YouTube, and I have made a lot of friends from YouTube. I've chat every day with certain people. That, yeah, best thing I ever did actually.
All right. Ready for number 4? You ready for number 4?
Number 4 sounds good.
All right.
4 sounds good. Have you got me?
Yeah, I got you. You had to pick up your mic. All right. Number 4 is, do you have any tips for anyone new getting into your hobby? And this includes making YouTube videos.
On the painting side, you've got to be really patient. There's nothing worse than seeing a model with a blob of paint on it. You've got to build up your layers, layer after layer, thin your paints down with water or whatever medium you're using. On flesh tones, for example, I could probably use 6 or 7 layers of paint, and just take your time. Never ever rush a figure. Some figures I could take 2 or 3 weeks to paint one figure. I'm not into speed painting. I must paint a full unit of 20 figures in 3 days. You can always tell at the end that you've done that. Treat each figure as a separate piece. If you're starting a new unit, do a test model first. Check out your colour schemes. Make sure it works. You can have a colour scheme in your head, and you'll put it on the figure, and might look awful. Doing it on one figure, you can always change things. As regards YouTube, one thing I don't like is long intros into a video. Keep your intros down to 10-15 seconds, keeps people interested. Cover as wide a range as you can. Just be natural, don't try and be something you're not, because you'll get caught out in the end. I mean, I don't, people who subscribe to me don't know I don't do editing and that. I mean, I'm not that proficient at editing videos, so I just go with the flow. If I've got something to put up there, I'll put it up there. Some people might not like certain videos I put up, some people do like them. But I'm putting up what I want to put up, what I want to show people, and that's it. That's just be yourself.
Alright.
What you want to post.
Alright. Ready for number 5?
Number 5.
Alright. This is the argument that used to be in the forums back in the day. Now it's toned down because a lot of YouTubers are using it now, and a lot of people are in competition are using it. It's the magical airbrush question.
Yes.
It's, do you like an airbrush or paintbrush, or do you use them both, and why?
If you'd have asked me this question 4 months ago, As I said, I didn't like airbrushes. I've now got an airbrush, and an airbrush and a paintbrush. They've both got the uses. There used to be a lot of controversy that people who use airbrushes weren't painters, but until you've actually held an airbrush and used it, there is skill involved. I mean, I bought my airbrush primarily for priming figures, and then I started doing some detail work, and yeah, it takes a lot of practice, and the finished result, some finished results you cannot match with a paintbrush. They both have the uses, and you'll find that many people who use airbrushes, well, you see on the tutorials, I mean, you watch By Painted on his tutorials, he uses both. Everything's got its place, and no, I don't see there's any controversy with it nowadays. I think you've got to have some skill with them, and well, I say skill, I think a lot of it is practice as well. But you've got to have a flair to start with. But yeah, no, they've both got the place.
All right, I
I've
agree
seen
with you on
dynamic
that.
results with an airbrush. I've seen dynamic results with a paintbrush. So I'm on both sides of the coin. I'm sitting on the fence on this one. Basically, I'm not committing myself, because yeah, they've both got the uses. Both got the uses. So that's clear my throat. I'm still on Dreadlund's beer project. Yep, I think that's all I can say really on that one.
All right, let's go right to number 6. Number 6 is, what was your favorite mini or model to build and paint, and why?
Oh, that is so easy for me to say. When the vampire counts were upgraded, Isabella got upgraded, and she was one sexy mama on the new upgrade. She was a pleasure to make up and paint. And when I bought her, I bought Vlad as well, Fluff husband. And oh yeah, she was just, I don't know, there's just something about that figure that I'm so impressed with. I've seen several painters who painted her all in their own style, and whatever style people have used, she's always been a classic figure.
All right, that's awesome, because that is my favorite mini too.
Isabella is your
yes.
favorite.
I don't like paint female figures often, but when my friend asked me to paint one from this was back in the day, when he asked me to paint that figurine for her, I told him I can't do flesh tones. He goes, I want her blue. He wanted her ice blue. I want, what? She's a vampire that's dead, dude. I want her ice blue. I'm like, thank you. Okay, I could do that.
Because I think I did her in Classic. I think I did her in a Rakarth Flash base coat, and I gave her a really grey, ghostly appearance, if you like. Time to put the final coats on.
Because she was a vampire. You had to give that.
Oh, well, that's right. She's not going to have pink flesh, is she?
She's gonna either be like pale whitish color, like a deadish greenish color, brownish color, or like my friend said, you don't know how she died, so she could have died drowning, and then became a vampire. So he wanted her.
She begged Vlad. She begged Vlad, because Vlad offered to marry her, didn't he? If you read all the fluff. And he was the beast that took the beauty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, doesn't matter what flesh tone she actually got, she still looked sexy when she was done.
Yep. Whoever sculpted that mini, I have to give that man 2 thumbs up, or woman.
That was a classic sculpt. Classic sculpt. And what I did like as well about Isabella, I mean, she was a fine cast model, but whether I got lucky or not, but I found no blemishes on that model, and she just slotted together so easily, and to pose her was so easy, it was unbelievable. So, yeah, Isabella, flat in second place.
Alright. Ready for number 7?
Yeah.
Number 7 is another one that everybody's asked me the question, what's the difference? But I don't want to be mean, but since you're older than everybody, you know what the difference is. So I don't have to explain this one to you. What's your opinion of a model maker to a wargamer? What's your opinion of them?
I think they both intermingle, to be honest.
Yes, they do.
Me personally, being a model maker and painter, and not a gamer, I always do my research anyway. I need to know how a figure should look. I need to know the background of the figure and etc. Which then brings in the wargamer, because they'll play their armies to certain fluff. They'll research the history. So yeah, that intermingles on that one. Many gamers take pride on the painting as well. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, there's some gamers that will do speed painting just get their armies on the table. But yeah, I think there's always that cross. Unless you're a gamer that doesn't care what your figures look like, but you just want to win your game, then you're not going to be interested in painters. But generally, on a broad comparison, they're always going to intermingle. Painters actually will take pride in seeing an army they've painted being played by a gamer. If they've done a commission job, they'll see that on a table and think, yeah, well, I painted that army, it looks bloody good. And yeah, I mean, as I say, I've never played a war game in my life, but I do research a lot of fluff, etc., just so I know how to paint my figures. So yeah, there's always that cross-reference. And some bloody good gamers, there's some bloody good painters who's gamers, so
alright.
That's my views on that one.
Cool. Same as mine.
Cool.
Ready for the last question?
Oh, they're all ready. Go on then.
Last question. This is the very easy one, hopefully for you, and hopefully for me. Who do you think I should ask these questions next, and why?
I've actually got 3 people in mind. I'm allowed to mention 3 people.
Go for it. More the merrier. Just tell me
One
why.
person, right. One person I think you should ask is Dreadlun.
I've been trying to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a master at terrain building, and he's just started posting some of the figures that he's been painting. He's Mr. Bolt Action, and he's very laid back, and he's just my sort of person. You know what I mean? The second person I would ask is Trojan Art Painting.
Never heard of him. You're going to have to send me that link.
Ever heard of Trojan Art Painting?
Nope.
Oh, you joke me.
No, I'm not joking. That's
One of your countrymen. Yeah, Dan, I mean, he's got time for everybody. He'll help anybody out, and he knows his stuff. He's been like me. He's been painting for years, and he really knows his stuff. He's into historical. Does a lot of Napoleonic. In fact, he's written his own rule set for his own game.
Wow, that's hard to do.
So yeah. And the third person I would interview for definite is Waterloo 745.
Okay, that's 2 links you have to give me. I don't know him either.
He's a mad Irishman. Him and Trojan Art Painting have got this thing on YouTube at the minute about who can wear the most silliest hats every time they post a video. And I mean, this Waterloo 745, his one-liners are unbelievable. He's just a natural funny person.
Alright.
I mean, some of the things he says, if somebody else said them, they'd be offended, but the way he comes out with stuff, it's... Oh, you'd be wetting your pants time you watched all his videos. He's unbelievably funny.
Alright. That's great. After we finish this video, Just put that in a link below so I can get those 2 channels, and I'll say that you sent me. All right. Now, this is what I call shameless plug time. This is the time. This is the time I give you to. This is where I say thank you for being on my way of saying thank you to be on the show. You can shout out your Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, any kind of groups you're associated with, any people that you want to give shout outs to. It's your time to shine. All I have to say is all I ask is that anything you say after this point, just send it to me in a well, we're doing this on this program, so after this video, just type what you said at the end. Okay?
Okay.
That's all I said.
That's not being too many then, is it? It's going to be work for me.
Well, it's your time to shine. Have fun. And I just sit back and listen until you tell me you're done.
I know, but I don't like shouting my own trumpet. Well, obviously, anyone who wants to come and visit my YouTube channel, the Old Git, for obvious reasons. And, of course, I've got to mention Wargaming Chums.
Yeah, that's a great group.
Yes, that's the one we're both in, yeah?
Yeah, we talk all the time in that.
Yes, I think that got great. I think I was decorating at the time, and Andy 2D6 sent me a message saying he wanted to create this group, and we got chatting on a Saturday morning while I was decorating, and that's how that got created. Bolt Action, they've got a community group up on Google Plus. Also, I'm getting into Bolt Action, so I'm going to have to give them a shout. Oh, there's so many people I could shout. I've already mentioned Waterloo and Trojan. Baron Adams, he deserves a shout. He's a very good painter. God, I'm going to get in trouble now for not mentioning people.
No, you won't.
Oh, on a Sunday night, if you're interested in Bolt Action, go to Jamie Tranter's YouTube channel. He does live Bolt Action games, and there's a regular group that goes on there posting comments while the games are being played. There's Jamie Tranter and Ethan Thomas, and they have 2 different players every week, and they work it out between them, and they do a bloody good job. So give them a call. And I don't really. I could be here all night mentioning people, mate. There's that many people I could mention. So I'd like to mention everyone who subscribed to me, to be honest, but I'll be here all night. So everyone who subscribed to me, visit my channel, see who subscribed to me, and visit them. Let's put it short and sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, that's the show. Thank you for being on it.
Thank you for having me.
And like I tell everybody, keep your blade sharp and let the hobby be fun. Bye, everybody.
Bye.